So viewability and fraud are two different things that do intersect in terms of the the health of the advertising ecosystem. So I want to take them separately. The implementation of the viewable impression as the industry currency is now in its end stages. We expect, this year will continue to be a year of technical transition, process transition, a lot of hurdles to overcome, a lot of things that we're working through in analytics and process. But the key points are that the industry as a whole decided to move in this direction, led by the ANA, the 4As, and the IAB. Major companies have been working towards this transition for several years and are experiencing great results in implementing viewable currency. And the entire industry will experience much better results in terms of cross-platform comparability. But there are still hurdles to work through. The issues we need to tackle now are understanding, as much as anything else, understanding the sources of discrepancy among the many viewability vendors. I mean, different viewability vendors can find differences of 30 to 40% in viewability, both across campaigns and within campaigns, something that doesn't make sense. So we have called on, the heads of all three associations have called on publishers, agencies, and marketers to deliver data on these discrepancies in a structured way to the Media Rating Council so that the MRC can understand the sources, the reasons, the sources of these discrepancies, and adjust its accreditation criteria for vendors accordingly. And we think this is going to be a rolling process, and that over the course of the year this will get the discrepancies to within a plus or minus range of 10%, which is very acceptable, and we'll all be able to do business. In the meanwhile, as these discrepancies exist, there are a lot of tensions. Agencies are making demands on publishers. Publishers are pushing back. There's pressure on the viewability vendors to get their acts together and come within better margins of error so that there are fewer discrepancies. I think there's a need for more marketers to gain more expertise in what is and isn't possible. There's, I think, a lot of BS that's been flying around in the name of viewability that really has nothing to do with viewability. So I think we're all trying to work collectively to work those through and are pretty confident that they'll be worked through. In terms of fraud, there's a lot of activity that's been going on, and I may be in a minority on this. I actually think that fraud is an easier problem to solve and will turn out to be an easier problem to solve for than changing the currency. The problem of digital advertising impression fraud or traffic fraud really derives from a larger problem, which is the holes, the gaps in the digital advertising supply chain. I mean, we're the only industry that I can think of on earth that has a completely open source supply chain into which almost any company, no matter how immature or even criminal or corrupt, can plug itself in and then infect other parts of the supply chain. So what we as an industry have done, again, this is led by the ANA, the 4As, and the IAB, acting together and investing together, have created a new compliance organization called TAG, the Trustworthy Accountability Group. And its role is to create and implement an industry-wide compliance program to plug the holes in the supply chain and make sure that that advertising fraud or inadvertent advertising support for sites that pirate intellectual property, malware, spyware, all these bad things that come out of our flawed digital supply chain end up ending because we plug those holes and create a more effective supply chain. So TAG has been announced. We will soon announce a board of directors for TAG, and we will also soon announce the first programs that TAG will bring into the marketplace to create a cleaner supply chain and end fraud.